Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Excited to be here on the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I did come on a couple minutes early just to make sure everything's good. You can see me, you can hear me. Yay! And I'm going to share this over to my page as well. So let's do that while we give everybody a couple seconds to see that we're live and to hop on. So, where are we? There we are, Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I am excited to do a new kit for the interchangeable wagon. That is what you see here. This is the Certified Bookworm Kit. Christina knows I love reading, and we did this kit a while ago, but I have an Easter kit now that I am ready to put in here. So, as soon as I can find myself, why isn't it letting me find myself? Where's the live? There it is. That's weird. All right. So I'm just going to share that over onto my page. I see we have a few people hopping on. Hello, hello. Please say hello in the chat or in the comments. And what is happening? My phone is like freaking out on me. Freaking out. All right. Hey, there's Christina. Hello. All right. So I should go there and I should be able to see it because I just shared it. There we are. All right. So I am doing the Happy Easter kit for the wagon. Like I said, this was is the Certified Bookworm. It says my happy place, just one more chapter. And this one says so many books, so little time. So usually the wagon sets have 3 things that go in the wagon and then a little sign that hangs on the front. Now, you've got these long hangers, which kind of covers up the wheels, most of the wheels, but lets you see more of what's hanging here. I do have a shorter set of hangers that came with this Easter set, and let me show you the difference. This lets your sign hang up a little higher so that you're seeing more of the wheels. So you've got a couple options there. It puts this a little more level with the side of the wagon. Like I said, I like to do the ones where it hangs down a little more so you can see more of the items that are in the wagon. So if you are interested in the Easter kit I'm going to show you that goes on here on the wagon, all you have to do is put the word Cindy, my name, C-I-N-D-Y, in the chat, and that link will be sent to you. So let me show you. Now, none of these pieces are put together yet. We're going to do that in a second. So the sign is this one that says Happy Easter in a really pretty script font. And then our 3 items that go inside, first is a cross that has 3 layers. We've got 1, 2, and then the word faith, like this. So we've got the cross. Then our round has a lot of little individual letters, so I can't really lift it up too much, but it's got a dove, a cross, and it says, I am the resurrection, and resurrection is raised, and the life, John 11:25. And the circle has some like shiplap lines on it. This one is the chunkiest, has most pieces. I feel like I want to show you from the back. It's really cool. So this is the very back piece. Hi, Sean. And then it's got another layered piece here that shows, I don't have enough hands to do this, that shows 1 cross. Then the next piece layers on top. So now we're on the 3rd layer and shows the 2 other crosses, and it says, He is not here, He is risen. Then you've got 2 layers of a church that go over here, has a cross, has 3 little roof lines. This one's super chunky. So in the very front, it is 5 layers thick. I love this piece. So the church, the circle, and the faith cross will go in the wagon, and then the Happy Easter will go on the front. All right? Yay, yes, thank you, Christina. I was also going to mention the sale. I love when I get to go live when Christina has a sale going on, because you order any 2 kits or more and you get 20% off. No code required, now through the end of Thursday. Eastern time, that's April 2nd, 11 p.m. Eastern on Thursday is when it ends. So don't wait. And it's always free shipping. So if you want to get this kit, if you don't have the wagon yet, if you want to get the little wagon, I think there's 2 choices if I remember from when I put this together. I think you can do both sides straight across like this, or you could do what I did where you've got the open side, which I kind of like because you can see more of the inserts, but just one of so many. And I placed my order at the beginning of March, right before Christina put a bunch of new kits on. So I've been waiting. Tomorrow I get to order my April kits, and I want some new inserts for the window and all sorts of fun things. So, and don't forget, this summer is our country's 250th birthday. So go all out for Independence Day this year and this season. Okay, let's get started. The colors I've chosen, some of my other Easter decor and what I've seen examples of this, and I have a similar tiered tray set that I did last year, I think. I used antique wax, black, white. I also pulled out sandstone. I thought if I wanted another kind of neutrally color. And maize, because we got to have some sun for that sunburst coming out from behind the church there. I don't know what happened to my phone stand. Oh, that works. Okay, look, if you need a phone stand, just found out you can stick it in the center of painter's tape. All right. I'm also probably with the yellow going to use a gold paint marker to make that sunburst a little more. And I think that's all the colors I need. The other things that are very important for when you do these kits are these foam sponges. I love this size especially from Hobby Lobby. You get 4 of them for like $2, I think. And you can wash and repeat. Wash and reuse these until they're falling apart. That's what I do. I do have some of the bigger ones for large surfaces, but we don't really have many large surfaces here. I also want to keep in mind that my wagon I did very neutral with antique wax. And I did that on purpose so that whatever kit, you know, the bookworm one I showed you, everything will look okay in it because it's neutral. Okay, I think I want to start with this church one because it has so many pieces. And what I'm going to do, you know what? I think I want to grab hazelnut as well. I think I'm going to need, because I got more layers of mountains or hills there. But this one, the background, I'm going to use maize. And what I like to do is I just paint the whole thing. Even though there's going to be other things covering in front of here, I just paint the whole thing because you don't want to have to try to guess where it's going to be covered and where it's not. Hey, Kim. Yeah. So my name, Cindy, is that's funny, Christina, because now every time someone says hi and then my name, they're going to get the message with the link to this kit, but that's okay. All right. So I'm just going to use maize with one of these, and I'm kind of covering over the etched sunbeam lines, but I'm still going to be able to see them because I think that's what I'm going to kind of use for my gold pen. And I could, if I wanted, take my pokey tool and go ahead and, they're very thin, but if you do it while the paint's wet, oh, hello. Oh, that one didn't go all the way. You can get the paint out of those little grooves. gives it kind of a neat dimensional look. So I am excited to be here on Christina's page. I come on here twice a month to share her kits, and then she gives me an affiliate link. And when people order through my link, I make a small commission. I also share the wood kits every Wednesday night on my YouTube channel. It's called Wood Kit Wednesday. And I think tomorrow I'm going to be making one of the, what am I making? Hold on. Oh yes, I'm making the farmhouse ladder display, which it's not brand new, but I had never ordered it. So I'm excited for that. So if you don't already follow me on YouTube, that's actually where Christina first saw me. I was on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2019. So for a while. Okay, so there you can see what it looks like when you clean out those grooves from the paint. But I'm going to put my yellow paint away because I don't think I'm going to need it for anything else. All right, we can set that piece aside. Then, oh goodness, I have to decide, because I have two layers. I have two layers of hills. I could do them both antique wax and then just lighten one of them up. I think I'm going to do my crosses with hazelnut so they stand out a little bit. My phone is like, oh, it's my son. All right, so let's do antique wax on these. Now, the back one, I really only need to do like this part right here because the rest of this is all going to get covered up. But we'll just go ahead and do the whole thing anyway. So antique wax by Waverly. What I find to be the easiest is to take a baby wipe. Aw, thank you, Christina. I hope that I've improved some of my techniques since the early days. I feel like I have. Hopefully I have. All right, so this one I'm going to do pretty, I guess I'm going to do both of them pretty light. But when you use a baby wipe, it kind of gets the color on there, but gets the extra off. Okay, let's do this one. The top one. And even though I'm going to paint the crosses a different color, I'm still doing the antique wax on them. I'll just let it dry and then I will come back, okay? So there's the front layer. You can still see the words there. And then this one, oh, and it ended up being, the back one is a little bit lighter, so that's kind of cool. So we'll let these dry. Then we've got our church, which I think I'm going to have to pull my sticky board out here. I didn't even talk about this yet. So this is just a board that came with one of my kits. I have painter's tape here, but it's sticky side up, except for on the ends. And then I can stick down all these little pieces that would be harder to paint if I was trying to hold them in my hands. Okay, I've got this cute little door. Okay, so I have to think here. I think this front part I'm going to do gray, just so it's black door, or do I want a gray door? This big part's going to be white, so let's start with that. Sometimes I have to work backwards to know what colors I'm going to paint stuff. All right, so we'll get another sponge here for our church, and there are a few lines on here that I will clean out the paint so that we can see them a little bit better. Again, if you want the direct link to this kit that I'm using today, just put my name, Cindy, in the chat or the comments if you're watching after the live, and that will get sent to you. And then from there, you can you know, look at whatever you want. But I appreciate you guys supporting Christina and also using my affiliate link, because that helps me in my business as well. Okay. So I'm just cleaning out these lines so we can see this little shiplap texture of the church. Okay. So there's our little white church. And then the 3 roof lines, I'm going to do black. I think, yeah, I'm going to do this piece. It looks like a little doghouse. It's so cute. I think I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to do the door with antique wax, because I want to be able to see the engraved lines showing like the panel of the door. So see how you can still see the lines there. Okay, black for our roof lines. I think you can see it over here a little bit. Get another sponge. And they're skinny, so I'm just going to kind of pounce on them a little bit and then smooth out that paint. That way I don't get a ton of paint on the sides super quick. All right, that was the cross. Let's do the cross, I think, with antique wax as well. I have, at first I was going to say let's do the cross black, but I kind of have a problem with making a black cross. I don't know why. All right, gray. No, wait. I guess sandstone is what we'll use. It's kind of a gray. It's like a grayish tan, which I obviously have not used in a while. Yeah, it's kind of like a cement color. I'd call it like cement. All right. So just to get another neutral color in there, we'll use this sandstone. All right. I think that's all. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to come back and paint the crosses. Now I'm wondering if I should do them with black, because they're kind of a shadow in the background. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's just get a little paintbrush here and just paint these 3 crosses that are kind of in the background. All right, looks good to me. So all those pieces are painted. Now we just have to wait for them to dry. So let's move over to our cross. Using those same colors, I think we'll do, I want to do the cross white, but do we do the word faith in black or in antique wax? I think I'm going to do black. Find my black sponge. Try to move these over so you guys can see more. And again, it's on my sticky board, so I don't have to try to hold it while I'm painting. And it's so fast when you use these little sponges. Okay, so the word faith on our cross is going to be black. We're going to do the cross in white. And then we'll do the background piece. I mean, I could do black again, which I think I might do because there's already a lot of antique wax happening on this because my entire wagon is antique wax. So let's do the back piece black as well. Only a little bit's going to be showing around the edges. So it's not going to be a ton of color, but just kind of do this around the edges. Everything else will be covered up by the cross. Okay, all those pieces are done. That's crazy how fast it goes. Okay. Oh yeah, Christina's got a new grandbaby. All right, I think if I move these, I bet you these pieces are dry. Now, I was going to use, where'd it go? My gold pen. And I think what I want to do, instead of just doing the lines, hold on, let me see how much this covers. I think what I want to do is I kind of want to color in every other space with the gold marker. Yes, thank you. It's not my idea, but wherever I saw it, I'm sure glad I did, because it makes things so much easier. But my hands still get messy. It's supposed to keep my hands cleaner, so. Okay, so I just decided to, every other wide band here, I'm coloring in with a gold paint marker. I think it's going to add to that sunrise, Easter morning, empty tomb, Resurrection Day effect. And I can just stop wherever past the lines because the piece I'm going to glue to this is going to cover up where the lines are ending. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they get really bad, I'll use a baby wipe, but pretty much I just keep going until I'm done, and then I figure I could just wash once at the end. Okay. Another thing you could have done with this is maybe orange if you didn't have gold, but I think the gold's going to look really pretty. Once it's dry, we'll see how that's going to look. But this piece is going to go on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some wood glue on this middle piece. Well, I guess it's our second layer. There's more than, probably don't need glue on the back of the cross, but I'm going to do a little bit anyway. All right, so this lines up on the sides and the bottom, and sometimes what I like to do is just stand it up. Makes it a little easier to line them up. Lay it down. Squish it a little bit. That seems to be holding pretty flat. What you can do is, if it needs to be flattened, you could carefully put something on it to give it a little weight. So we'll do that. And while we're doing that, we can start gluing some of the pieces on our church. So, I did, Christina. This is actually one of Joey's transfers. It says, blessed by God, loved by Jesus, led by the Spirit. And then this shirt, so I ordered the transfer, and then I was like, I don't know what shirt I'm going to put it on. It had more of a pink tone than I thought, and then I saw this shirt at a thrift store. I'm like, that's the shirt that transfer needs to go on. So I was pretty excited. Yeah, this is my first time wearing it. Okay, so I'm putting now the roof at the top of the church and the middle. So is there anybody on here who has never watched a live with one of Christina's affiliates? Oh my goodness, I didn't do these lines all the way up. Where is my pokey tool? Thankfully, I think I can still, I don't know why I stopped. That was silly. Gotta go all the way to where the roof is gonna be. There we go. This little church is so cute. Trying to make sure it's lined up. All right. Then this piece, okay, goes here. Another layer. And the little door inside. Okay, we'll get that there and then get them both lined up. Okay, so the last piece that'll go there will be the roof on that part, and then there is the little cross that I'm just gonna get a little bit of the glue from the bottle tip and just put it on with my finger, because I really don't want a ton of glue seeping out. Try to get that straight. Okay, so there's our little church. Let's come back here. That piece is on pretty good, so now we can do the next layer of our top of our church. Get that on, get that lined up. Okay, and that's drying. All right, so my church just needs 2 or 3 more pieces. Let's come back to our cross now. I'm gonna layer the white piece on top of the background. And just do a little bit behind the words here, just so they get stuck down. And there's lines to line all this up so it's nice and straight. Yay. And then once that's dry, we'll put the faith word on top. Okay. I've got black words on white. What do you guys think about me doing the background of this in the yellow? Get a little bit more of the yellow and then black words, or I could do white with yellow words. What do you guys think for the words for the sign in front? My certified bookworm, I just did the teal and peach, that I was kind of doing the colors. I could do the gray. Ooh. Let's do the gray sandstone with yellow. Or I could do the words Happy Easter with the gold. Should I do that? I could bring in a little bit more of that gold. What do you guys think about the gold idea? Where is my gray? There it is. All right, so actually it's not gray. This is called sandstone. All right, so the front of my sign, or the background of my sign, is sandstone to go with the front of the church. Do I do the words Happy Easter with maize or with gold. I also have words on I'm the resurrection and the life. I could pop out the word resurrection in that same color just to kind of get everything to coordinate. So I missed a spot. All right, let's glue our faith word on here. Just try to get tiny bits of glue. I don't like when there's a ton of glue that seeps out. Nice. Now that I'm looking at this, I should not have done the word faith and the background the same color. So I'm going to take this off. I need to do this word faith in a different color so that it'll show up where this is black here. So I'm going to use the sandstone color if I can find where I set it down. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes you can make all the plans and then when you put it together you're like, oh, I can't really read what that says because I did the same color on the front and the back. Excuse me. All right, and that's going to need a second layer, but even if I didn't, yeah, it's still a little dark. So live and learn, and if you don't like it, take it off quick and then fix it. All right, or just paint over it again. If I couldn't have gotten that off, I could have very carefully painted it even with it attached. All right. Okay, there's our little church. It's so cute. And I think just that one roof isn't, aw, it's sweet. So now I can put glue on the back of this whole thing. And line it up on the roof there and the bottom. I love it. He is not here, he is risen. I'll show you as soon as it's all the way dry. I don't want it to slide around. Nobody told me what color yet to do the words on the front sign. I'm just doing one more layer of the sandstone on the faith word. And you know what? I'm not really liking how that color is painting over the black. So this may be the last one that gets done because I want this to look good, but now I'm like able to rub off quite a bit of the black. So maybe we'll just see what it looks like with that. Trying to be careful not to break the word though. Don't want to do that. All right, let me grab a paper towel here. Actually might kind of like that. We'll see. Okay. All right. I am going to do, I think I'm going to do gold for Happy Easter. And since it's a paint marker, pretty easy to use. just like you're coloring in each letter. Thank you, Peggy. I like how the church turned out too. Stick. I will say when you use a sticky board, you know, after so many uses, you'll want to take off the tape and reapply. Okay. So I colored in my Happy Easter, but I think what I also want to do around the edges of this is just take my black and kind of do a little bit of distressing or shading, inking, whatever you want to call this technique, just around so it's more than just the two colors. Okay, I'm the resurrection and the life. This one has lots of little pieces. So far we've got the church with the hills. We used yellow and gold, white, black, and sandstone, and antique wax for the church, antique wax, black for the crosses. For the faith cross, so far we've got a black background with white. Still need to figure out, I think now that I've taken the black off, I think this will paint up nicer with the gray now that it's not kind of mixing with the black. So let's try another layer of sandstone. And we'll let this dry and then see, maybe it just needs one more light coat. But the black word with the black background did not work. Did not work. Okay, we haven't done, I'm trying to think. I think I gotta push all these letters off. I think I want to do the background of this one white. And then we'll do our dove gray, our cross, antique wax, all the words black except for the word resurrection. We'll do that with our gold marker too. And let me just do it because it's right here. And I will say the paint marker does take a little bit longer to dry because it's a little wetter than when you use the foam sponges. But they are very easy to use on these wood kits. You could even do entire kits with paint markers, but I usually just use them for the really small details. All right, so we're gonna do white for the entire background of this. And I am gonna need to clean out where it says the reference because that does not have a piece going over it, and I just put paint in there. So I'm gonna need to clean that out so we're able to read that passage or scripture reference in John. Okay, so let's do that first before it gets dried. You don't have to have a fancy tool. You could do this with a a push pin. John. 1125. It's a really cute, like, I don't know what this font is called, but fun, like, handwriting type of font. Okay, and then I am gonna drag through the lines that make it look like shiplap. I don't need to clean out the lines where all the words and things go because I can see them well enough. All right, so that's what our background looks like. Got the word resurrection. What I need to do, because some of the letters you can see, most of them are attached to the cross, but there's the ones in the middle that are not. So what I'm going to do is stick this down, and we've got the letters to kind of fill in the rest. These are going to be really fun to glue on. I, A, T, N, H, F, E. Those are all the individual letters that will get glued on. Okay. So, antique wax for our cross. Okay, and I think we're done with that, so I'm going to quick clean off the opening here of my jar. All right, now we need our black. Doing all those individual letters, and then I'm going to do these ones that are attached. And if I go a little bit onto the word resurrection, that's okay, because remember we have the gold piece that's going to lay over top. So if I get a little bit of black on there, it's not going to matter. So you don't need to try to just paint the, what would you call those? Printed letters, not capital, or I mean not cursive. All right. Is that all the pieces? Wow. One more layer on the word faith with the gray. All right, so where are we? We're finished with this piece. We need to just put the word faith on our cross. Oh, I know, I gotta paint the dove. That's the last thing I need to paint for the circle. Okay, and for the sign in front, we have sandstone with a little bit of black, and then I did the words. Ooh, I like that. I did the words in gold with the gold paint marker. So let's glue these on with just a little bit here and there. Don't need a ton, and it shows me right where they go. And again, right where it goes, and then we'll let that dry. Do not break the letters off. Okay. Most of them will put glue on the back of the cross, but we can do just a couple little dots behind some of these letters. And we're going to line up the cross. And then our words. Kind of pat it down. Get it to stick to our circle. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to let that dry before I put the rest of the letters on, but it's going to be cute. Okay, let's see how we're doing with our faith that I had done black, but then when I set it down on here, you couldn't see it because I had done the background of the cross also with black. So this needed to be a different color so you could actually see what the words said. And it's soft, but I like it. I like it with the gray. All right, that one's done. 2 pieces are, well, 3 pieces are done. Now we just need to finish this round. So again, because these letters are so tiny, I'm just going to get a little bit of, hopefully enough. Here, might need to, sometimes what I do is I'll put a little dot of the glue on my work surface here and just kind of like dip my finger in and just barely put some on the back. You don't need a lot. Okay, same thing with the A. I am okay, now I'm going to take my gold painted resurrection word, couple dots of glue, ooh, I like that. Okay, maybe I should have done these other letters on the lower level first before I put that down, but I think I can still get them in here. Just have to make sure I keep, if I bump this, I got to keep moving it back. 3 more letters to get on. H for the. E, last one. Okay. Then I just need my dove, and it's in 2 pieces. Here we go. I love it. All right, let's put the paint away brushes that need to be cleaned. And then I can, hopefully everything will be dry enough that I can show you what it looks like. Alrighty. Here is our wagon, and I'm going to use the longer hooks so that I can see more of what's inside the wagon. Okay, oops. So there's our gray with the gold letters. This one's been dry the longest. This guy's a chunky one, so I'm going to put this one in the front. So if you had the shorter hooks, it would be up like this. So this drops it down a little bit. Maybe put him over here actually so you can read the, he's not here, he's risen. And then you can really put him however you want. Rearrange. And you can put something in the wagon if you want it to stand up more. You can lean them against each other like this. Let's make sure these aren't going to go sliding. I usually like to put my circle up if I can, kind of like that. So as long as you're not moving it around, right, you can kind of put these how you want. You could even, I don't know, rearrange them how you'd like. Like I said, you could put a stand inside the wagon to make them all higher up if you want. It's really up to you. But I do like this wagon because it doesn't take up a lot of space. I kind of want to read the word faith though. Come here. There we go. There. Oh, look at that. That is so pretty. I love it. I love that I used gold here, here, and here. Kind of helped make it pop. I used the gray here, 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 and you maybe can't see the bottom part of the church. Black, white. So black, white, gray, gold, and antique wax. 5 colors. I love it. Again, if you would like the affiliate link to this kit, just put my name, Cindy, C-I-N-D-Y, in the chat or the comments, and Christina will send that over to you. And thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to see another wood kit tomorrow evening on my YouTube channel, go find me on YouTube, Monarch Mom DIY, and we do Wood Kit Wednesday. Tomorrow night will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. All right? Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.